Hi, we're back. We just saw the Sony press event, and oh my god.
Steve has just calmed down.
Yeah.
Maybe.
A little bit. In my opinion, Sony just put on a master class in how to do an E3 press event. First of all, they opened with an orchestra and went into God of War, which was amazing. But what they really did well was they had minimal talking, minimal people coming out on stage, and just paid trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer showing AAA title after AAA title, and just destroyed everybody else who did a press conference. They hammered it home, and they were like relentless today. They were just like hammering it. It was unbelievable. I mean, I don't know what the first impressions are for you guys, but I just thought they just crushed it.
They did, and especially in previous years, Sony has been a lot of like yappity yap with the tech stuff, and I thought especially if they were gonna, drop the PlayStation VR, all that release information, and then drop the Neo, which they never ended up talking about. It's like, this could be one of those teraflopping gigaflops, just like
man.
Microsoft. And
Boy.
it seems they've finally learned their lesson, because for many, many years, Sony was perhaps the most boring PowerPoint presentation E3 press conference you could get. It was
many pie charts.
Yeah, it's like, here, let's talk about this for 90% of the press conference, and there's the games. No, they flipped it around. Not all the yappity yap, lots of the gameplay.
Nothing but gameplay, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of talking.
So we should start with God of War, because that's the first thing they did. They had an orchestra played into God of War trailer, and the first thing you find out is Kratos has a son.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I was seeing on Twitter, like, people are saying this might be a reimagining, like
Sure.
almost a reboot of God of War, which is why Kratos had like that epic beard, and and also like just his overall physique looked a little different,
Yeah.
right? Like he didn't seem quite as athletic as Lithe.
Yeah.
He just seemed more like a burly bruiser.
Yeah.
Right? But like that demo was really cool. It's kind of playing off like the new theme in gaming, which is like father-son bonding. It felt like
He didn't seem as angry. He
Yeah.
was rough on his kid, but he didn't seem as like outwardly angry as old Kratos.
but he's just as brutal on his enemies as old Kratos.
Yeah,
Like that boss fight where he just like smashed the dude's head through the ice. That was that was old God of War stuff right there.
Not even the deer survived.
Not even the deer. Oh dear.
But like that was for the growth of the kid.
Yeah, it was
Something like that?
Learning about the mercy killing, which I guess he's like, oh, this is also what I'm doing with all of the other things that I'm killing.
Yeah, I was a little uncomfortable when he stabbed the deer. He was like, oh yeah,
I didn't care for that at all. I was like, I'm gonna go make some tea.
maybe see. Okay, so that one game is just called God of War, no title, so it sounds like it is kind of like a reboot or a reimagining.
Norse mythology, though.
Norse mythology.
That was the
Do you
rumor.
think?
It looks like it's true.
Then they went on and they basically showed 5 consecutive trailers right to start, and they showed God of War. Then they showed Last Guardian.
Yeah, The Last Guardian 2 with a release date.
October
October 25th. I
Exciting.
cannot
This year.
believe this.
Yeah.
Like, we've been waiting, how long? 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years for this game. You know, like my Ico Shadow of the Colossus spiritual successor. The giant dog still looks as adorable and fluffy. You just wanna hug him.
Yeah.
You know? And this is real. This is actually happening. Hopefully no delays. That was mind-blowing to me.
Even if there is delays, at least you have now a general time period as to like it's scheduled to come out later this year. So if there is delays, it'll only be weeks or months after that, I would hope. But it's coming. It's coming very soon now.
Yeah.
So you know that much. So they showed that. Oh my god. They showed off, first of all, a Star Wars VR game, for which I was like, oh my god, a Star Wars VR game. Everything I dreamt about as a kid is starting to come true.
It turned out to be Battlefront.
Yeah, so there's a Battlefront Star Wars game. So I was already freaking out, and I was like, I was tweeting out, oh my god, my dreams as a kid are coming true. Then they showed off a Batman VR game. I didn't even know what to do. I almost fell off the couch. I was like, I can play as Batman? Like, I know I've played as Batman in the other Batman games, but I almost lost my mind at that one. I was like, a Batman VR game? Are you kidding me? Where I can embody and put on the cowl and be Batman myself? I don't even know what to do with that information.
Yeah, and then speaking of VR, the VR announcement that really got me hype was at first we thought it was PT. Right,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
you're like in an abandoned house, right?
That was a scary trailer, man.
and
yeah.
and like the person's like whoever first did this for this demo for E3, they did a masterful job because like it's
Yeah.
like slowly looking around, like kind of peeking through doors.
He got so excited. He was like, "To heck with the camera!"
And so kind of peeking through doors. And then so I think we all thought it was PT.
Yeah, I
right?
thought, because I mean, there was no doubt Hideo Kojima was going to be there. So,
Right.
and naturally, we thought this would be the great progression because it seemed so creepy and walking in the abandoned halls of the house, and it was like, I feel terrified about this, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it turned out it was something that was even better to me. It was Resident Evil 7, and it looks like Capcom, like after they, I guess they found their golden goose with Resident Evil 4, with that pure action mold. They're going back. They're going back to the roots of the series, where it was just like the first Resident Evil. Like, I don't know if you guys remember it, but like on those like pixelated graphics, that game was terrifying to me, right?
Yeah.
So like they're going back to that in VR. I cannot wait to be jump scared and run around my apartment, just throwing my headset off.
PlayStation has basically got itself a VR lover.
Yeah,
Absolutely no.
I am absolutely sold on VR, and I think that's what the best takeaway from that PlayStation conference was, because like they even showed, I think, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which looked much better.
Yes.
Oh,
much better.
Much
times
better.
Trailer. That trailer really, because let's face it, the one before this was terrible.
It was terrible. It looked terrible because I think maybe a week or two afterwards, Battlefield 1 trailer came out, and that was
that's
smoking.
what it was,
I'm not sold on VR, but I'm really excited about what the potential is. Like the potential that they showed today with all the stuff, and not only just Sony, but other studios. I was like, all right, let's see what you have. Like, I like the idea of this is what you're putting out. Now let me put on the headset and see how you do it.
Yeah.
Another exciting announcement that they had, which we talked about on our show a few weeks ago, that there was rumors of it, but a new Spider-Man game's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm super like, let's go.
From
I'm all-
Insomniac.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's a good
like
game.
an actual like. They're a second party company of Sony, and they're working on a Spider-Man game, so that means the quality needs to be up to snuff.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, no, another crazy surprise. Crash Bandicoot
Yeah.
is back. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. At that point, I was like, all of these games have been fine, but I could care less about any of them.
Yeah.
Like,
That happened.
and I don't mean to be cynical, because I feel like every video we do, I'm like, I just don't care. Like, your games are fine, but I don't care. And literally, the words had just left my mouth, and in comes the Crash music. I was like, you son of a bitch, how dare you?
But there
How dare
was-
you make me
How
happy?
dare you make me happy? How dare you eat my words?
Outside of Crash, there was one that I know piqued your interest from Quantic.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
game looks cool. So Quantic Dream is the company that made Heavy Rain, which I loved, and Beyond Two Souls, which I know, Christine, you played and you liked.
I did.
This game, which is called Detroit...
Not Rock City.
No. That's a good movie, though.
Detroit
yeah,
Becoming Human.
That's what it's
Or
called.
I think.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
And in true Quantic Dream style, it's a game that looks like it's just about like choose your own adventure, multiple choice,
Yeah.
different endings, different scenarios depending on where you choose, what street you go down, what options you choose, which will impact on what happens as the game plays out. But it's the story of not humans, like androids and stuff like that, involved in human life, and certain people live, certain people die depending on what you do, which is what they did in their previous games.
Yeah.
A
Steve
lot.
made a good example comparatively to Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Kind of a Blade Runner kind of game.
Yeah. But I'm all in for this game. I'm down. Let's go. I'm ready for another Quantic Dream adventure.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, yeah.
And then they showed off more of Horizon.
Yes.
Horizon Zero Dawn, I think, that like dinosaur hunting game. They just showed more gameplay. You can mount up on one of those robot dinosaurs. So I thought that was cool. And then they had like one last game that we thought was The Last of Us.
Had a very Last of Us feel.
Turned out it was a brand new project.
Days gone. But yeah, so it looked like Last of Us initially, but it seems like it's very much that vein of a survival zombies again, but whatever.
But they look like Gollum. The memes
Yes.
on Twitter were amazing.
They were.
The golems are angry.
But it's about, it
There
looks
are
like
lots
this
of them.
this guy who's like a real tough, rugged guy who rides a motorbike, and he's talking about his girl and how he misses the feel of her skin and her hair blowing in the wind on the bike, and now he's all alone and he's got to fight off these zombies with his shotgun, and so.
And the zombies are runners.
Yes.
So it's like
They're fast.
there's a lot of them too. It's like World War Z.
Yeah, this is not
Almost.
Night of the Living Dead zombies. This is quick, fast zombies.
Yeah.
So
But I'm down for that game. Looks good.
I'm kind of hoping like with the motorcycle, so that was like very prominently featured, that it will be more like an open world, like an
Maybe.
open
Maybe.
world thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Open world zombies.
But I don't know, man. I just think Sony knocked it out of the park. That's probably an understatement for what they did. They crushed it, and just were relentless with the showing of trailer after trailer after trailer, and really put on a great show. As to whether these games will live up to the hype that they just put out, we have to wait and see. But they certainly created hype for these games.
Right now, that's inconsequential because
Yeah.
all we're doing is talking about Sony. I mean, we saw Microsoft this morning. You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
saw Ubisoft this morning.
Yeah.
EA
and
yesterday.
and this is just this almost wiped our memories clean of what we saw just a few hours ago.
And we were ready to call it like in the first 40 minutes of Sony. Like before they even showed most of their stuff, in the first 40 minutes they showed like 6 trailers, and we were like, that's it. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done. And I mean, that's the whole purpose of E3, is to just kind of get the hype machine going. And Sony, like, mission accomplished, man. I'm ready to go to the show floor and see what you have to offer.
Especially if there's a naked Daryl Dixon there, I will absolutely be a
yeah.
fan.
Oh, yeah, he
I
was in
forgot
The
about
Hideo
that
Kojima
game.
game looks amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Norman Reedus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a Kojima game. I can't believe we
Yeah.
forgot about that huge announcement.
On the amazing white carpet that came down the...
That was the best. Kojima just came back and was like, hello, everybody. I'm back.
I'm back.
Basically saying, screw you, Konami.
Here's the creepiest looking, like, handsomest Daryl Dixon game you could
It
possibly...
was like a caveman. He had a little baby with him.
Well, I thought it was like, because everything was kind of black and like sooty, so I thought it was maybe after an atomic bomb, or there was obviously some kind of chaos. Because I just love. It was so creepy to see the handprints of his baby start to show up on him.
yeah.
I'm like, this game is gonna mess with my mind in the biggest way.
Which is a good thing.
I like it when Daryl Dixon messes with my mind.
Like I
He's
think
very handsome.
I think what sums up the Sony conference the best is the fact that they had a sizzle reel at the end where they just kind of threw out the rest of the stuff that's coming. They had Gran Turismo, which is a massive franchise for them, and they put that in there.
Just
Yeah.
as a throw in.
That's all you need to know, right?
Like, oh, by the way, that's also coming.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was awesome.
So Sony, good job. I liked what you had to show. I give this news conference an A++.
You're still too high. You handle A++ is way too.
I didn't give anybody else an A+. Everything was like B+, A-.
Was the third plus Drambuie?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was. Simpsons.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it was good. You did well, Sony. You've learned from your mistakes from the past.
A+. Also, FF15 coming in VR. I know you guys don't care, but I do.
Yeah,
So
I think a lot of people do.